Howdy folks, we're at the Hasegawa booth now, checking out some great new releases that they have. And for Macross fans, here's a much awaited release. It's the two-seater Valkyrie. This is the F11D, I'm sorry, it's a Thunder Focus, the VF11D Thunder Focus, two-seater. You can see the two guys in the cockpit there. Now this is not a completely new tooling, it's based on the previous Valkyrie release, but it's got, as you can see here, this is the newly tooled parts. Of course, the front, the fuselage section there with the two-seat cockpit arrangement there. Some new window parts. And this also comes with the GUC M3 stuff molded in resin. So it comes with resin parts as well, and some beautiful decals by Cartograph. So this is the new release of the VF11D Thunder Focus, 1/72nd scale. This is coming in December from Hasegawa. Hi folks, here I am checking out Hasegawa's new 1/72nd scale kit of the Shinkai 6500. This is a manned research submersible, very, very deep going submersible. The 6500 stands for 6,500 meters, which is the depth at which it can dive to. So yeah, this is a very, very important research vessel, very, very detailed kit, again in 1/72nd scale. Trying to see if it has a good bit of interior detail here. Can't really see that from the parts layout, but nicely detailed. Pretty good size in 1/72nd scale as well. I didn't think it was going to be quite this big, but very nice. So this is the manned research submersible Shinkai 6500, and this is coming from Hasegawa. When? This is coming at the end of November, so it should be out in about a month or so. Now moving down here from real science again to some science fiction, we have the Space Wolf SW190, which looks kind of like a Focke-Wulf 190 if you look at it from certain angles. And this is from the anime series Space Pirate Captain Harlock, or as they say, Captain Herlock in the English, or the Romaji here. So this is part of their new Creators Work series. Hopefully we'll see a lot of other cool releases from the world of SF from Hasegawa. So yeah, the Space Wolf SW190, 1/72nd scale. This is also coming out when? Searching for the release date and the information here. Oh, it's right in front of me. December. This will be out in December. So an all new tooling kit of this very interesting space fighter from Hasegawa in 1/72nd scale.
We're at the Hasegawa booth here taking a look at something that's a rather unusual offering. We're going to take a look at their brand new Hikawa Maru. The Hikawa Maru, unlike most Japanese plastic models of ships, doesn't have any guns. It's a passenger ship. And also, unlike most models of Japanese ships, this is of a ship that's actually still floating on the water. So that's a couple of unique things. So why would Hasegawa want to do a model of an old Japanese passenger ship? Well, the Hikawa Maru actually has a very, very rich history. It started off in the 1920s as a luxury ocean liner for Japan and made a lot of trips all over the world. It's actually not that big. It's only about 11,000 tons. In fact, I was on a ferry this summer out of Sendai that was quite a bit bigger than that. But for its day, it was a pretty big ship. And it started out, as I mentioned, as a luxury passenger liner. But then World War II happened, and they converted her over to be a hospital ship. So the ship had a great big, literally, a giant red cross painted on the side of her during the war. That's probably the reason that the US Navy didn't torpedo it. So it served during the war as a hospital ship. Immediately after the war, once the Allies started letting Japan use its shipping again, it worked as a cargo ship for a few years, and then eventually in the 1950s was converted back into a luxury passenger liner. In the early 1960s, she was retired and now exists as a floating museum in Yokohama that's recently been renovated with about a $10 million renovation. And so it's a really beautiful museum that you can actually go to if you get to Yokohama, Japan, and get inside the Hikawa Maru and take a look at the sorts of splendor they delivered to customers back before World War II. So in that sense, she's a ship with a very, very rich history. And in order to make this kit interesting to modelers of all levels, they've, as usual, broken out the photo etch part sets as optional sets. And Hasegawa has done an interesting job here of showing you the different levels of detail you can accomplish. If you just go with the plastic parts, for example, on one of these main antennas, you get an effect like this. If you add a little bit of photo etch parts, the rails here, you can get that. And then if you go all out with turnbuckles and everything, you can get this level of detail. And they've really shown off kind of an interesting comparison here of the various levels of detail you can create if you buy these additional photo etch kits, or for that matter, these wooden deck sets as well. So if you want to go nuts and create a full-blown super deluxe version, you can achieve something like this right here, which is just an absolutely beautiful ship model. But if you're a little bit intimidated by all the work that would be required to make that look just like that, then you can see that even with the plastic parts only, she still looks pretty darn good. So that's the Hikawa Maru, a ship with a very rich history from Japanese naval lore, being released. It's a beautiful new 1/350 kit from Hasegawa.
Checking out Hasegawa's 1/32 scale Raiden, the jack, the J2 M3 Type 21 here. This has already been on sale for a little while, but we haven't really been able to show this in any of our recent show videos. They have a built-up model here, so I just thought I'd give you a quick look at it here. This is a kit I actually purchased myself. I've always been a big fan of the jack, and it's a nice tubby fuselage, long nose there. Comes with the pilot figure that you can pose in different positions. It's got different heads. Good selection of decals for a couple different aircraft. Of course, the very famous lightning bolt pattern ones here. The good old 352-20. The initial release will come with this nice comic book, basically, called Young Bloods on Lightning Bolt, which is included in all the initial production ones, which right now at HLJ, all the kits we have will include that. So, a very cool kit of the Raiden J2 M3 Type 21 in 1/32 scale from Hasegawa. Checking out more great releases at the Hasegawa booth, starting with the 2001 Honda NSR 250 racing bike. This is Daijiro Kato's 2001 championship winning bike. New tooling here, great detail, very vivid decals here. It's got an amazing engine and muffler setup in there. Great detail. This is going to be released actually just in a few days. This is coming out, the release date is actually the 20th of October. So that's coming soon. So this is all new tooling of the 2001 Honda NSR 250. You can see an unpainted version of it here. We got the box, the sprues are all laid out. It's going to come with a nice selection of metal parts here, some springs, tubing and what all, for the brake lines and all the goodies that make these bikes go. So yeah, Daijiro Kato's 2001 championship bike, the Honda NSR 250. So great news for bike fans. Now if you're an automobile fan, and a Mini fan, we've got the BMW version of the Mini crossover. Apparently this is the first time that this has ever been kitted, the Mini Cooper Countryman, as you can see here. This is a test shot of it, not the final product. It's still under development. But for fans of Minis and cars, this is another great new kit coming from Hasegawa, 1/24 scale. And the release date on this is December. Now for aircraft fans, and for fans of the weird, wild, and nutty, Hasegawa's Eggplane series has a couple of new entrants, starting with the, I think this one's completely new, the F-22 Raptor gets the Eggplane treatment. You also see here an A6 Intruder, the venerable SR-71 Blackbird, and coming around the corner, and this really works well, an Eggplane style, is the AV-8 Harrier. These are all listed as new, all coming out in November. And you see over here, we have the sprues shot of the pudgy little F-22 Raptor as an Eggplane. Pretty cool. Now if you come around the corner here, again they've got the Raptor, the Blackbird, the Harrier, and the Intruder lined up at the top, with the rest of the wild and wacky Eggplane lineup here. Even some Valkyries in the world of SF, some World War II aircraft. Yep, I think they have a space shuttle too. Yep, space shuttle over here. Kind of cool. That also works well as an Eggplane. Now coming around this side of the corner, we have some of the various Maschinen Krieger kits that have been released by Hasegawa, the Falke, the Nutrocker, Luna Diver, and some test shots and some built-ups of the Großer Hund, which is coming later this year. This is in 1/20th scale. Very, very detailed. It's a little bit of a departure design-wise from some of the other stuff. It's got a more of an insectoid, kind of a visceral look to it, all kinds of tubes and stuff. But yeah, very cool kit. The Grosser Hund in 1/20th scale, and this is set also for a December release. So some good automotive stuff, some good aircraft stuff, and some good sci-fi Maschinen Krieger stuff coming from Hasegawa. Checking out another aircraft release here at the Hasegawa booth. They had previously done a 1/48 scale E-18G Growler. Well, now here's the 1/72nd version of the E-18G Growler, and it's not a totally new tooling, but it does have some newly tooled parts to make it the Growler version. You get the whole upper section of the fuselage there, some of the different pods and electronic warfare things there, and the AGM-88E missile is all newly tooled for this kit. So yeah, another great Growler kit from Hasegawa in 1/72nd scale this time. The EA-18G Growler from Hasegawa. Nice kit. Here at the Hasegawa booth, checking out a new release that's from an anime manga movie series called Toaru Hikushi e no Tsui something, which I can't read, sorry. Can't read the kanji there. But what I understand is this basically translates as what is it? Reminiscences of a certain aviator. So those of you who are familiar with the series will know what this is all about. It's a very interesting aircraft. This is a completely fictional aircraft. Appears to have floats on it, twin rudders in the back there, four-bladed prop on there. Seems to borrow from a lot of different aircraft to come together to make this very interesting fictional aircraft. And you can see here some other designs from the series. Don't know if these are ever going to be kitted. But apparently this one is coming in 1/72nd scale from Hasegawa. This is called the Santa Cruz 1/72nd scale de Kitaka. So apparently this is called the Santa Cruz, which I don't know if that's supposed to be Cruz or or whatever. But yeah, this seems to be an interesting new, I don't know if it's going to be a series or not, but an interesting new aircraft kit, fictional aircraft from Hasegawa. And just for fun, over here, I don't know if this is connected or not either, but we have a set of 1/12th scale school desks and chairs as a plastic model kit, so it'll fit with your 1/12th scale figures. If you want them to be in a school setting, well, here you go. So new fictional aircraft and a lovely school and desk set, all coming from Hasegawa.